Chapter 20. As the days dragged by, the three of them fell into a routine. Leah's mother spent nights at the hospital on a cot in Neil's room, remaining through the day until Leah got out of school. Then Leah relieved her mother, who went home to rest, freshen up, and deal with phone calls and mail. In the evenings, Ethan drove Roberta back in her car and visited until 10 o'clock. Then he and Leah drove together to the house in Leah's car. Leah could hardly concentrate on her classes, but fortunately her teachers cut her off a lot of slack. Sherry sent her cheerful notes at school and mailed a card to the house. Leah began to appreciate what a good friend Sherry was, and swore she'd be more available to do things with Sherry once Neil had returned home. Things with Sherry, however, Dr. Nguyen gave them little hope that Neil would ever go home. His liver function keeps failing, the doctor said outside Neil's room on Thursday. Do something, Roberta demanded. We've done all we can, the doctor said, looking upset. The cancer's invaded other parts of his body. It's everywhere now, and we can't stop its progression. Roberta stifled a cry. Tears swam in Leah's eyes. Ethan gripped Leah's hand so hard that it throbbed. I just can't believe there's nothing else you can do, Roberta said. I wish there were. Doctors like to heal patients, Mrs. Dutton, not watch them die. Leah's mother looked resigned. What's going to happen now? He'll gradually slip into a coma, Dr. Nguyen said, which may last a day or a week. But eventually he'll simply stop breathing. I'm sorry, so very, very sorry. He put up a good fight. A fight that he can't win and is no fight at all, Leah's mother said bitterly. One afternoon Leah was alone in the room with Neil when she heard him say her name. She dropped the magazine she was reading and leaned over his bed. Yes, are you in pain? Do you want me to call a nurse? No, I want to talk to you. I'm listening. It won't be long now, Leah. Please, Neil, no. Now, don't you fall apart on me. I'm not afraid to die, Leah. I know where I'm going from here. I sure hate leaving you and your mother alone. He sighed deeply. I need you to watch out for your mother once I'm gone. Leah wanted to say, Mom's able to take care of herself, but didn't. I know you think she's strong, but she needs you. I love her, Neil said softly, and don't you ever doubt for a minute that she loves you. She may not have always expressed it in ways you understand, but she's tried to do what was best for the two of you. Leah had to admit that she and her mother had gotten along much better since Leah had learned the truth about her real father and grandmother. Hearing about her mother's early struggles had helped Leah to understand her mother's proclivity for marrying and divorcing. You helped make her different, Leah said. Neil had made both their lives different. No, Neil said. I only helped make her feel safe. He closed his eyes, and Leah thought that he might have fallen asleep, but since his voice came again, and watch out about Ethan too. But why? He's Amish, honey. It's in his blood. Neil reached for her hand. I don't want your heart broken. Ethan wouldn't do that to me. Not intentionally, but sometimes circumstances come up against us like a brick wall. Circumstances we can't do anything about. I know, Leah said. Like getting cancer. She recognized those kinds of circumstances all too well. But loving Ethan was her choice. Are you saying falling in love is like getting sick? Neil smiled. Sometimes it seems that way. But no, falling in love is a good thing. I know that Ethan and I have a lot of things going against us. I didn't set out to care about some Amish guy, you know. I believe you. Too bad we don't always get to pick who we love. Sometimes love just happens to us, whether we're looking for it or not. But finding the right person at the wrong time can be a problem. Lots of things have to come together before love and the person we love are just right for us. Leah wanted to keep talking about herself and Ethan, but she knew Neil didn't have the strength for it. Maybe you should rest. Not yet. His breathing sounded labored. One more thing. He gestured toward the drawer of his beside table. Open it. Leah discovered a small wrap box. What's this? Part of your graduation gift. I had your mother bring it here so that I could give it to you. But I don't graduate for 2 months. I won't be there, Leah. Maybe you will, she countered stubbornly. You could fool your doctors and go into remission again. He slipped his hand over hers. That's not going to happen, honey. I won't be around for a lot of things in your life. I'll miss your wedding day when that rolls around, but I promise I'll be looking in on you when you walk down the aisle. Until then, Leah had never considered that she had no father to give her away. Tears of sadness and regret filled her eyes. Then I'll walk alone. Shh, don't cry. Now, just open the box while I can still see your face. With trembling fingers, Leah opened the box. Inside was a gold charm of a diploma sparkling with a ruby chip. For your bracelet, Neil said. Thank you. It's beautiful. No, thank you, he said with difficulty. I'm so proud of you, Leah. You're smart. You have a good, kind heart. Do something wonderful with your life. Neil drifted off to sleep, and Leah bowed her head and cried. Leah and Ethan went to the hospital coffee shop that evening, ordered hot chocolate, and sat at a corner table. Leah felt weary to her bones. Neil had not wakened again all afternoon or evening. I'm sorry, Ethan said. I know this waiting cannot be easy for you. It isn't easy for you either, Leah said. I keep thinking back to Rebecca's death. It happened so suddenly, and with Neil, we've known for months that he was sick, but I'm not any more ready for him to die than I was for Rebecca. Ethan reached across the table and laced his fingers through hers. We cannot change what God has ordained, Leah. We may not understand why, but even if we knew why, knowing would not stop it. It just isn't fair, and it makes me mad, she said. Ethan smoothed her cheek with his palm. But miracles happen also. You are proof of that. Ever since Neil's hospitalization, Leah had suppressed fears about her own health. She would go for another checkup at the end of May, but what if... Ethan silenced her with a shake of his head. You will be fine. I believe this with all my heart. Not wanting to speculate about it, she asked, Tell me something to make me happy. I'm so tired of talking about cancer and dying. Ethan looked thoughtful. Dr. Prater has offered to send me into a special school this summer in Indianapolis so that I can learn more about veterinary medicine. Leah sat up straight. Really? Why didn't you tell me sooner? He only just mentioned it yesterday. Indy's not that far away. Hey, you could even commute from our place. She felt a mounting excitement. Ethan grinned. You are like a horse with a bit in its teeth, off and running. I'm not sure I will go. Why not? It sounds like a good idea. You like working with animals. Maybe you could be a vet like Dr. Prater. It's much like college for you. A choice, but not one I'm sure I want to make. You should seriously think about it, Leah said, her heart hammering. Ever since their visit to Eli, she had been afraid Ethan would leave. Now it appeared that he had a perfect reason to remain. Besides, the Amish needed veterinarians, so it wasn't as if he could never return to his community. Why, she believed that even Jacob Longacre might approve of Ethan's becoming a doctor for animals. If Ethan stayed the summer and attended the school, then continued working with Dr. Prater, she could stay around too. They would be together. Leah cleared her throat. Well, I think it's a great opportunity, and you should really think hard about it. Ethan stared pensively out the window. I will, Leah. On Friday, Neil slipped into a coma. Leah got a call at school. She ran out of the building, hopped into her car, and sped to the hospital. Ethan arrived less than an hour later, still muddy from a field. I was helping Dr. Prater with the birth of twin calves, he explained. Roberta took Neil's hands into hers and kissed his palm. We're here, honey, she told him. We'll be here until you leave. Leah experienced deja vu. Hadn't she just stood by Rebecca's deathbed only months before? Hadn't she felt these same emotions, numbness, anger, fear, and unbearable sadness? How much grief could a person take? She asked Ethan, what should I pray for? Pray that his passing is gentle and quick. She bowed her head but couldn't form the words, not even mentally. She didn't want Neil to die. She didn't want to let him go. The three of them stationed themselves around Neil's bed. They talked to him, touched him, watched his body shut down. Machines performed the tasks of his diseased organs. Time became fluid as the hours melted into one another. Still, there was no change in Neil's condition. Nurses brought 2 sleeping chairs into the room for Ethan and Leah, and then very early in the morning, Leah was startled awake by the high whine of Neil's heart monitor. She leaped to her feet to join her mother, already bent over Neil's motionless body. A nurse rushed in and flipped off the monitor. The silence seemed deafening. The nurse felt for a pulse. He's gone, she said. Leah crumpled onto the bed, sobbing, her lips pressed against Neil's ear. I love you, Neil. Suddenly, the words were not enough. And they were the wrong words. Daddy, she choked. I love you, Daddy. I love you.